I have just made an incredible cheesecake. It's different from others. It's baklava cheesecake. It has grown really popular on the internet, but it's really my recipe that I feel great and the taste is great. I believe it's as easy as making an ordinary cheesecake. What we do is we get a phyllo dough, which is a pack like this. Before it was sold in Turkey, I used to see it in London. Turkish markets, Arab markets sell something like this. What we do, we take 20 sheets. On the side, 100 grams of butter. It's about like 4 knobs of butter like that. I just melt it down with a bit of heat. Turn the heat on halfway through. Let it melt totally. And with a bit of sugar, to each layer, I drizzle some butter and then sugar. Some butter, some sugar. 20 layers are done. For the cheesecake, I'm going to use a cake mold, but with a clamp. That's really important. Mine was about 25 centimeters. I open it from the clamp and it grows 1.5 centimeters bigger in diameter, which I want because when this thing starts to cook, it shrinks and I want the bottom to totally cover it. So what I did, I took the top part of the mold, opened it, put it on the side of the sheet, leaving a big line on the side and cut. I also cut the circle totally and I'm going to use the sides for extra crunch on top. The other ones are gonna be used for the cheeks of the cheesecake. To the mold, first I put the round at the bottom and I put the clamp of the mold without closing on top, and to the sides I take from the leftover side each time 3 sheets and layer it so that all the sides are covered. So I'm going to blind bake it for about 25 minutes. What's blind baking? Without putting something inside means blind. Instead of that, I put some chickpeas that I've reserved for blind bake. To do that, first I have some holes at the bottom. Why? Because there's the air and there's the water moist is gonna grow the bottom of the cheesecake. I don't want that, so to prevent it, I score it a bit. And then with a baking paper and some blind baked chickpeas, I put inside. This way, it's gonna be cooked flat in the oven for 180 degrees. Higher, the baklava goes brown really fast. 180 degrees for about 25 minutes. Then I take the blind baked chickpeas out, bake for another 5 minutes and take it out and let it cool for a while. While it's cooling down, I make the cheesecake's cheese. 800 grams of labneh cheese, but you can use in the world Philadelphia cheese. Quark if you're somewhere in Germany. Nice spreadable cheese would do really good. I added 250 grams of sugar, 2 tablespoons of yogurt. If you have it strained, that would be even better. I don't mix it with a sieve. I use a spatula. Why? Because when I whisk it, what happens is the air gets in and it's trapped in the cream mixture. When it's in the oven, the air is heated. When the water is heated, it expands. And this way it goes big. But what we want in a cheesecake, we want it flat. So instead of whisking, we use this one. 3 teaspoons of flour, a pack of vanilla, or if you have vanilla pods, you can use some seeds of the vanilla pods. Mix them really well. Then we add 2 eggs, but each one separately. First add 1, really mix it well, then add the other one. Again, mix it with spatula, nothing else. Mix it well, and the mixture is ready. Before we put it inside, we make sure that we close the clamp of the cake mold, making sure that it catches the sides, and then add the mixture. Always, even like this, some air is trapped, and to get away from that trapped air, we take it up a bit and then put it on the flat surface. Bum, bum, bum for several times. This way the bubbles go up, pat, 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 you'll see on top. It's ready to go to the oven. The oven is now 180 degrees, too much for that cheesecake. We don't want the color to change too much. We drop it to 150 degrees. We also put some water at the bottom to make the inside moist. Drip some to the bottom of the oven so that the moist starts to be created immediately, and bake like that for about 50 minutes.
Hi everyone, we are on Amazon. You can find our most highlighted products on Amazon and buy with just 1 click.
What's really important is, after cooking for 50 minutes, we turn the heat off. We open the lid of the oven a bit. We call that kındırık in Turkish. The hot air goes out really slowly and the degrees falls down slowly. This way, the cheesecake cools down in a balanced way. For minimum, for 20 minutes, we have to cool it down. Then we take it to outside. When it really totally cools down, we put it into the refrigerator, and at least for 4 hours, preferably overnight. It has to sit and wait. Then becomes the perfect cheesecake that you can cut. For serving, I don't want to do anything much fancy. Some walnuts, some pistachios are chopped, mixed together, or if you're that rich, you can just use pistachios, chop it well. 1.5 tablespoons of honey, mixed with 2 tablespoons of water, warm water preferably. It opens up a bit. You mix the chopped walnuts and the pistachios together, it becomes bright and nice. You can just use this spread on top and just have the pistachios. Or, you know, we have these leftover ones on the sides. They are really good. Increases the crunchiness and increases the feeling of baklava. It covers the top a bit and maybe overcrowds it in a way, but that crunchiness is so tasty you want it. Crack these with our hands and then make a circle around and add the pistachios and the walnuts in the middle, and then it's gonna be ready to serve and eat. Great baklava cheesecake. Shall we combine tiramisu and baklava, if you like, or kadayıf and tiramisu? Any of those you want to do, please write it down. Anything else you want us to do, please write it down. That's it for today. Loads and loads of love. Take great care.